There's a moment in everyone's life when motivation fails, when the fire that used to drive you fades away, when the music, the quotes, the speeches, none of it moves you anymore. You wake up tired. You scroll through your phone looking for something to reignite that spark, but nothing feels strong enough to push you forward. That's when you realize motivation is not the answer, because motivation is temporary. It's an emotion. And like all emotions, it comes and goes. If you depend on motivation, your progress will always be unstable. You'll move only when you feel good. You'll work only when you're inspired. And that means you'll stop every time life gets heavy. But discipline is different. Discipline is not about how you feel. It's about what you do, regardless of how you feel. It's the silent force that keeps you moving when your mind screams to quit. It's what builds character, success, and peace. Motivation might get you started, but discipline is what keeps you going long after motivation has left. And once you understand that, you become unstoppable. So, here are the 7 powerful ways discipline will change your life and show you the Stoic path to becoming unshakable, unbreakable, and truly free. Number 1, discipline teaches you control over your mind. The first thing discipline does is teach you to master your mind. Your emotions will try to control you. Fear, laziness, doubt, excitement. They all pull you in different directions. But discipline centers you. It makes you the commander of your thoughts. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." That is discipline in its purest form. When you control your reactions, you control your reality. You stop being driven by moods. You stop chasing instant gratification. Instead, you build the strength to stay consistent, even when your feelings tell you to give up. Because the truth is, your feelings lie. They'll tell you it's okay to rest when it's time to grind. They'll whisper that you're not ready, that it's too late or too hard. But discipline doesn't listen to lies. It listens only to purpose. And once you learn to control your mind, you become unstoppable, because nothing external can shake your internal focus. 2, discipline builds the habit of consistency. Discipline is repetition. It's not about one great day of work. It's about showing up every day, no matter what. You don't rise to the level of your motivation. You fall to the level of your habits. A disciplined person doesn't wait for the perfect conditions. They create progress out of imperfection. They train when they're tired. They work when they're uninspired. They study when their mind wants to rest. That's what separates the dreamers from the doers. Consistency builds momentum, and momentum builds mastery. Every small act of discipline stacks up until one day you look back and realize you've become everything you used to chase. It's not luck. It's not talent. It's the daily decision to show up. When you build discipline, you stop relying on feelings and start relying on systems. You create structure that supports your goals even when motivation dies. And that's how empires are built, one disciplined day at a time. 3, discipline makes you immune to distractions. The modern world is full of noise. Every notification, every trend, every temptation is fighting for your attention. Motivated people get lost in the noise. Disciplined people don't even hear it. When you're disciplined, you learn to focus deeply. You understand that your time and energy are your most valuable currencies. You stop giving them away cheaply. You begin to guard your peace. You choose your battles. You say no, not because you're cold, but because you respect your purpose too much to be scattered. Discipline is focus in a world of distraction. It's the ability to stay on your path even when others are lost. And that's rare. That's power. Because most people chase everything and master nothing. But the disciplined one chooses one thing and masters it completely. 4, discipline strengthens your character. Every time you do what's right instead of what's easy, you build your character. Every time you choose effort over comfort, you forge mental strength. Discipline turns you into someone you can respect. It builds integrity, the alignment between your words and your actions. It's easy to talk big when you're motivated, but when you act big without motivation, that's character. The Stoics taught that the greatest victory is not over others, but over yourself, over your impulses, over your ego, over your laziness. When you win that battle daily, you develop something far more valuable than excitement. You develop peace, because discipline gives you peace. You stop regretting, you stop overthinking, you stop breaking promises to yourself. And that inner harmony, that quiet strength, is worth more than any burst of motivation. 5. Discipline turns pain into power. Pain is unavoidable. Life will test you, physically, mentally, emotionally. But discipline transforms pain into progress. Instead of running from discomfort, the disciplined person leans into it, because they know pain is the price of growth. The gym burns, but that's where strength is born. The work is tiring, but that's where mastery develops. The long nights, the failures, the doubts, they're not setbacks, they're training. Discipline teaches you to find purpose in pain. You start seeing struggle as a teacher instead of an enemy. And when you embrace pain, you remove its power to break you. You begin to realize nothing can truly hurt you when you're willing to endure anything. That's Stoicism. That's strength. That's freedom. 6. Discipline makes you independent. When you rely on motivation, you rely on something external, a feeling, a person, a quote, a spark. But when you live with discipline, you rely on yourself. You become self-sufficient. You no longer need someone to push you because you've become your own engine. Discipline makes you the master of your destiny. You start trusting your process. You stop needing validation because your work speaks louder than words. The Stoics called this autarkeia, self-mastery, self-control, self-reliance. And once you have that, you are free. Because no one can take away what's built from within. When you live by discipline, you don't fear failure anymore. You don't chase applause. You work quietly, consistently, and powerfully. And success becomes inevitable. 7. Discipline gives you true freedom. Here's the paradox. Most people think discipline is restriction. They think it means sacrifice, limitation, suffering. But in truth, discipline is freedom. Freedom from laziness, freedom from regret, freedom from chaos and inconsistency, freedom from being controlled by your emotions. When you master discipline, you master life. You wake up with direction. You move with purpose. You sleep with peace. That's the ultimate reward. Not fame, not money, not status, but the quiet satisfaction of knowing you did what needed to be done. Discipline is the art of becoming your own hero. The path is hard, lonely, and demanding, but it's the only path that leads to greatness. So stop chasing motivation. Build discipline. Train your mind, sharpen your focus, and keep moving, no matter how you feel. You won't always feel strong, you won't always feel inspired, but every day you have a choice, to listen to your emotions or to rise above them. Motivation is a spark, discipline is the fire that never goes out. Feed that fire, guard it, live by it, because once you become disciplined, you become unstoppable. If this message hits your soul, comment below. I choose discipline. And remember to like, share, and subscribe for more Stoic motivation to help you master your mind and build your power.